There you go. Alongside Inside Carolina's Greg Barnes, I'm Ross Martin. We are in the basement of Memorial Coliseum hours after UNC lost to Michigan State in the Moda Center in the championship game of the PK80. It was a 63-45 final when nothing really seemed to work for UNC. Inside, outside, defense, rebounding, everything went against the Tar Heels, and it was a none too happy Roy Williams in the post game. Initial thoughts from the game, Greg, and their major takeaways moving forward.
Well, I think the major takeaways, for one, North Carolina shoots 24.6%. That is a school record low. They shoot 5.6% from three-point range, 1 of 18, also a school record low. And for a Roy Williams team to convert offensively like that, you don't see that very often. And it kind of speaks to what Michigan State was able to do. They're very long. They're very athletic. They did not allow North Carolina to get into their sets. And then when you add, Kenny Williams misses a layup. He gets bailed out on another transition play when he trips himself. Joel Berry got blocked several times. So everything that could go wrong for North Carolina did. And to me, the fact that the experienced guys didn't play better was more of a shock than the young guys not playing well.
Yeah, it's not like Michigan State played amazing. I mean, they missed some shots. They turned the ball over.
24 turnovers.
Exactly. And, I mean, we knew kind of going into the game that – and kind of going into the season that with Luke May at the 4 at 6'8", and some inexperienced big men, that UNC is going to struggle against teams that are long, athletic at the front court. And that's kind of what Michigan State brought. And UNC's freshman big men did not contribute much. At one point, they brought in the walk-on Aaron Rollman to kind of give the team a boost. But really, Manley's played well in spots. Brooks has had his moments, and so has Huffman. None of those guys really did anything, and even Luke May wasn't that effective downside. Inside seemed a little rattled by the length of what Michigan State did, and then touched on Joel Berry and Theo Pinson. It just seemed like nothing was working offensively.
Right. Yeah, and I think you're exactly right with Luke. I mean, against teams like this that have long, athletic guys, that's going to be a challenge for him. And that's just kind of how it is. And so when you have the situation like you've got at center, where you've got young guys playing there, you have to have production out of your big guys. Out of your guards. You have to be able to get out in transition and execute. And when you say, well, they forced 24 turnovers, good. Can you capitalize on that? And they did pretty good in terms of points off turnovers, but they could have done a lot better. And you've got to be able to push tempo. You've got to be able to penetrate. They were able to get their big guys in foul trouble early. Miles Bridges, who was a preseason All-America, he was in foul trouble, only played 7 minutes in the first half. And they were not able to take advantage of that. So that's going to be the big test, because Duke's longer and more athletic than Michigan State. So factor in Luke May struggling against those guys, Berry, Pinson, Kenny Williams, and Cam Johnson when he comes back. They are going to have to execute for this team to win those kind of games.
Yeah, and I think going into this game, that the team's strengths, UNC's strengths, were shooting from outside. Luke May, Kenny Williams, even Joel Berry been knocking down threes and getting out in transition and getting easy baskets. They didn't do any of that in this game. No. They had opportunities in transition. They didn't capitalize. And then Michigan State did a good job of kind of preventing some of those easy looks. And then inside, they couldn't get anything. Looking ahead, they have Michigan on Wednesday in the Dean Dome, a team that's 6-1, I believe, with a loss to LSU. Obviously, a Power 5 team. That's going to be a test for UNC. But in the locker room, we spoke to a couple guys. They're taking it as a loss, an early loss that they can build on, a learning experience, all those things. They were saying the right things. Anything in particular from the locker room that stood out about how this team's going to take this loss and kind of move on?
No, but I think what's interesting to me is because guys like Berry and Pinson have been here for so long and they've been through these games, and we're talking about a November game, not that big of a deal, but it is a big deal to the freshmen. And so how they handle that, you can't just blow it off. It's like Roy said in his postgame, it's not something where you can just say, we're going to put this one to bed and not even look at it. You've got to take advantage of it as a learning experience. And so how Berry and Pinson handle that with the younger guys, I think will be kind of a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought this team was going to go undefeated.
No, for sure
Expected
not.
Some losses here in November and December, and moving ahead into conference play. So that's it for us from Portland. A big 4 or 5 days here, 3 games for this road trip. UNC went 3-1, had some wins. Obviously did not close the trip as they expected. For Greg Barnes, Inside Carolina, I'm Ross Martin.